5 primaries yesterday for the Democrats, 5 primaries for the Republicans. Let's start with the Democrats, where Hillary Clinton won 4. Let's take a look at the results. In Connecticut, Hillary winning by a margin of 5 percentage points. In Delaware, Hillary up 60 to 39, winning 60 to 39. Maryland, a dominant victory, 63 to 33 over Bernie Sanders. In Pennsylvania, a narrower victory, 56 to 44. And in Rhode Island, Bernie's lone win yesterday, 55 to 43. Lewis, were you surprised at the results, either in terms of the number of states that each candidate won or in terms of the margins of victory?
No, going into this is pretty much how I thought it would play out.
So let's take a look at where the delegate numbers from yesterday specifically, and you will notice that with proportional allocation of delegates, even in some states that Hillary Clinton won, the delegate difference was quite small. For example, in Connecticut, Hillary Clinton winning the state, but grabbing 27 delegates compared to Bernie Sanders' 24. In Delaware, again, Hillary won, picking up 12 delegates, Bernie Sanders 9. Maryland was a big one for Hillary, where she picked up 53 delegates, more than twice the 24 delegates that Bernie Sanders added. Pennsylvania, 91 to 59, the delegate allocation, according to an estimate from an hour ago from New York Times. And Rhode Island, Bernie's lone win, only a 13 to 11 delegate victory. Yesterday, total 194 new delegates for Hillary Clinton, 129 new delegates for Bernie Sanders. And thus, the big picture question now is, well, where does that get us in terms of the race to 2383? I mean, Lewis, that's what matters at this point, isn't it?
That seems to be the most important number. So far.
Let's look at those numbers indeed. Hillary Clinton now estimated at 1,640 delegates, needing 743 more to hit that magic number. Bernie Sanders, 1,331 delegates, needing 1,052. And the New York Times, and this is complex. The superdelegate estimate for the New York Times currently for Hillary Clinton, 519, and Bernie Sanders, 39. And there's no reasonable way to discuss this if we say, well, listen, we can't count superdelegates because they don't vote until the convention. Well, that's not really representative of what each candidate needs to do. If we include them in the total delegate counts, people say, hey, those are not pledged delegates and they haven't voted yet, so it doesn't make sense to include them at this time. So we've gone with what the New York Times does, Lewis, which is separating them and noting where they are sort of estimated, although, of course, that can change. They can typically do whatever it is that they want. So there's really no breathing room whatsoever left here for Bernie Sanders. He has fallen further behind. We have Indiana upcoming, West Virginia upcoming, Kentucky, Oregon. Those are pretty small states. I mean, until California, the day California votes, June 7th, New Jersey also votes. And those are really, really big. And as of right now, if Bernie Sanders got 100% of the delegates in California and New Jersey, he would take a commanding lead. But there's no evidence whatsoever to suggest that Bernie Sanders is even going to get 70 or 75% of those delegates. No poll suggests that that could happen. Bernie currently polling 42% in California and 42% in New Jersey. So what are the takeaways here? The argument that Hillary is merely a regional candidate is evaporating. These were wins outside of the Deep South yesterday. Bernie's argument for staying in, though, I believe is still strong, Lewis. We'll get to the Republican race. John Kasich has won a single state, and he is still in this thing. Bernie Sanders has 1,300 delegates. If Bernie Sanders is indeed not the eventual nominee, 1,300 or 14 or 15 or 1,600, whatever the number ultimately is for Bernie, this will be one of the most successful non-winning primary runs in a long time. And that is going to have an impact. The movement that has been created here, if it goes no further, is no doubt hugely important.
Yeah, and I know people don't like it. Bernie supporters don't like it when we say it's not looking good for Bernie. We talk about the numbers, but it really is important for Bernie to stay in, to keep giving speeches, to keep getting his message across, because that's what we need. We need
No
people.
doubt.
Yeah, and so he should stay in. Yes, without a doubt.